Welcome to EasyEuge, the channel to help you to learn maths super easy, super fast. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to multiply fractions. So if you're ready, let's get started. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click like on this video. And make sure that you watch all the way through to the end for question of the day. Let's start with question 1, which is a half multiplied by a half, or a half of a half. So the x can be represented and sometimes written like a half of a half. Okay, so when we have 1 over 2 multiplied by 1 over 2, that's the same thing as saying, what is a half of a half? So with the help of my trusty circle, I've already divided it in half. We have a half over here and a half over here. Let's concentrate on this half. What is my answer if I took a half of this half? So if I draw a line approximately halfway through this half, we've got 2 halves of the half. So this is essentially a quarter and a quarter. So a half of a half we can see is very simply a quarter. But let's do that using the multiplying fractions method. If I take my 1 over 2 multiplied by 1 over 2, all you do to multiply a fraction by a fraction is simply multiply the top 2 numbers and then multiply the bottom 2 numbers. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. It's that simple. So you just multiply the top 2 numbers, multiply the bottom 2 numbers. So let's do that with question 2. 3/4 multiplied by 1 over 2. Let's just get straight into it. All you do is multiply 3 by 1, and the answer is 3. 4 multiplied by 2 on the bottom, 4 2s are 8. And that is multiplying fractions by a fraction. Question 3 is 4 multiplied by 1 over 7. So this is a fraction multiplied by a whole number. There's the whole number 4 and there's the fraction. So if I write that down, 4 multiplied by 1 over 7. This looks a bit weird because we don't have a number underneath 4. So what are we going to do? So whenever you see a whole number, that is the same as putting the number over a 1. So 4 is 4 over 1. And now you know the trick with multiplying. You can multiply a fraction by a fraction by just multiplying the top 2 numbers and then the bottom 2 numbers. Let's do it. 4 multiplied by 1 is 4, and 1 multiplied by 7 is 7. There you go. The answer is 4 over 7. So this example here, question 4, this is 1 over 5 times 3. If you ever see this, you know what to do now. Just turn that 3 into a 3 over 1. And let's just get straight into multiplying. 1 multiplied by 3 is 3, and 5 multiplied by 1 is 5. There you go. That's what you do when you have a whole number multiplied by a fraction, like this one, or a fraction multiplied by a whole number. Question 5 is 2 over 3 multiplied by 3 over 4. Let's write that down. 2 over 3, that's that one, multiplied by 3 over 4. What do? You know from the previous examples, you just get straight into multiplying. 2 by 3 is 6. That's the top 2 numbers. 3 by 4 is 12. And the answer is 6 over 12. Hold on a minute. I think I can simplify this. always look for the opportunity to simplify your fractions. So what can we do to the top number that we can also do to the bottom number? What if I divided the top number by 6? 6 divided by 6 is 1. And if I divide by 6 on the top, I need to divide by 6 on the bottom to maintain the balance. So 12 divided by 6 is 2. So 6/12 is the same as 1/2. And I like to look at this fraction. Let's move on to our next example. What is 1/2 of a quarter? Whoa, where's the multiply gone? Remember from the first example, off means multiply. So if I have 1/2 of, that means multiply, a quarter. 1/2 of a quarter. Let's get straight into it. 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. That's the top finished. 2 multiplied by 4 is 8. That's the bottom finished. The next example is 3/4 multiplied by 5/9. So let's start by writing that down. 3/4 multiplied by 5/9. Let's get straight into it. So 3 multiplied by 5 equals 15 on the top, and 4 multiplied by 9 is 36 on the bottom. Now we've ended up with a fraction that we need to simplify. So what can we do to the top number that we can also do to the bottom? So I think we could divide the top by 3 and the bottom by 3. So let's do that. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And what we do to the top, we have to do to the bottom. 36 divided by 3 is 12. So the answer is 5/12. Now let's see, can we do that another way without needing to simplify? Let's write that down again. 3/4 multiplied by 5/9. Is there any way we can simplify this fraction before we start multiplying? So let's take a look at this 4 and this 5, these diagonal numbers. There's nothing in common with these two numbers, but I've noticed between the 3 and the 9 there's a relationship here, because this 9 is 3 multiplied by 3. So what if I go ahead and I write that down as 3/4 multiplied by 5/9, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Let me take that 3 and I'll divide it by 3, and this 9 and I'll divide it by 3. So what we do to the top number, we have to do to the bottom number. So what does that look like when we divide by 3? So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and that's all over 4 on the bottom. And we multiply by 5 over 9 divided by 3 is 3. And let's go straight ahead and work this out. 1 multiplied by 5 is 5, and 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. And both answers are the same. We got 5/12 for both. Let's go to the last example in this video. 3/5 multiplied by 15/21. So let's get straight into multiplying the two top numbers and the two bottom numbers. 3 by 15 is, oh gosh, this is starting to get big, 45. 5 by 21, oh, well, 5 20s are 100, 5 1s are 5, so that's 105. Gosh, this fraction will take a lot of simplifying to bring it down to the smallest possible fraction. So let's use the method I showed you here of cross cancellations before we do the multiplying. So let's write that down again. 3/5 multiplied by 15/21. Let's start with 5 and 15. What can we do to these two numbers? Do they have a relationship? I could divide this 5 by 5 and this 15 by 5. So let me just show you. Let's divide this by 5, and we'll divide this top number by 5. And what about the 3 and the 21? Do they have a relationship? I think we could divide the 3 by 3 and the 21 also by 3. So what does that look like when we do this? 3 divided by 3 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. And that's multiplied by 15 over 5 is 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So let's multiply this out. 1 by 3 is 3. 1 by 7 is 7. So the answer very quickly is 3 over 7. And we just very simply did some cancellations before we did the multiplying. Let's go back to this 45 over 105 and we simplify this down. I think I'll start by dividing 5 into each of these numbers. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 105 divided by 5 is 21. So now we have 9 over 21. Can we simplify this again? I think we could divide the top and the bottom by 3. So that will look like 9 divided by 3 is 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So now again we find that both answers are the same. So the cross cancellation here helps us to simplify the fractions before multiplying, and we get 3 over 7. And this example meant we had some tricky simplifying to do. So again, I've shown you both methods and you choose which one you like the best. Question of the day is 1 over 2 multiplied by 2 over 3 multiplied by 3 over 4. So when you're multiplying fractions, remember, multiply all your top numbers, then multiply all your bottom numbers, and when you get your answer, check to see if you can simplify it. So best of luck. Remember to leave your answer in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.